everyone, welcome back to another Rosh Reviews, where today we are in something very special and actually incredibly rare. This, guys, is a Mark II BF Tornado. And guys, you know, if you follow the channel, I own a Typhoon, which is the sedan version of this car, and they did not make a whole lot of Utes because this thing is mad. You put it in performance mode, run the gears yourself, build boost. Whoa! Man, that is insane. Wow. Guys, no joke. Like my Typhoon doesn't even do that. And I'm running 500 wheel horsepower. You know, this thing is stock. It literally just has an exhaust. And again, I'm guessing just because maybe the longer wheelbase, lighter on the back end, rear wheel drive, obviously. Man, this thing just gets squirrely. It lights it up pretty easily. And geez, this thing is a lot of fun. Now, what exactly is an F6 Tornado? Well, it is essentially a Ute version of the F6 Typhoon. And I've actually done a review of my very own F6 Typhoon. If you guys want to see that, I can leave a link for it and click the pop-up banner right here. And I love that car. You know what I mean? The BF F6, this was really, they came out, the F6s, in the BA, improved upon in the BF, and then obviously everybody kind of really started to get attached to these things in the FG. But personally, I have always thought that the BF had the most aggressive look to it. It was really an underdog. They did not make many of the B series F6s because back then they just were unproven. No one really knew what they were capable of. Everyone was in the V8 mindset. And honestly, the B series V8s, although they sound absolutely amazing, they were always known as a bit of a slug. And I tell you what, this Tornado, even in stock, 3,000, it just pumps, man. It just pumps. And this is stock. Wow. I love these things because of that right there. You know what? You'll just drive this, anything under 3,000 RPMs, it feels like an XR6, just a normal Ute. As soon, even in just normal drive, as soon as you hit 3,000 in this, just barely feeding it, man, it is a rush, and it will instantly hook just about anyone to love these Barras because, God, it feels good. And this, of course, running the 4-liter inline 6 Turbo Barra, 270 kilowatts from factory, 550 Newton meters. And guys, when this came out, this had the most Newton meters of any production Australian car. 550 Newton meters was huge back in the mid 2000s. And guys, this is just, it is a beast. Now, another interesting fact I looked up the other day, which, comment below if you can confirm, these were actually the first Aussie-built car to feature a 6-speed automatic. So Holden didn't have a 6-speed auto. This was Ford's first 6-speed auto, and I believe it was featured in these XR6 turbos, the F6s, and the Territories. And I think, again, they would have come out Series 1 BF, so we're talking like 2006, I believe, was when they first showed. And yeah, there were no other 6-speed autos before that, which kind of is weird, but I actually can't think of another 6-speed auto before it. So I think it's true. Comment below if it is. Now, one of the reasons why I think there were so few of these made in the B series range, Tornadoes and Typhoons, was purely because they were kind of unproven. And when the BA first released the Typhoons in that, they were met with some issues because they were only available in a manual then, and they had a upgraded AP Racing twin plate clutch, and even that couldn't properly handle the torque that these Barras were making. So they did have to do quite a massive recall, fix a lot of the early BAs, and I think that kind of put a bad taste in everyone's mouth when the BF came out, because the BF, it did look, in my personal opinion, a lot better, but it was a subtle change. They put nicer wheels on it. The body kit did get a little bit more aggressive. And then they did introduce the ZF6. And in the BF with the ZF6, guys, this is how you want it. And if you're looking to buy a Typhoon, a Tornado, honestly, do yourself a favor. Get it in the 6, the ZF6, because it is just night and day better. It's better. And, you know, you pull out of a corner here. I am still blown away. I'm blown away by that. This thing lights it up, man. Even my F6 doesn't do that. It doesn't light it up as easily as that. So, obviously, having a tray in the back definitely makes this thing a little bit more rowdy. Now let's just touch on build numbers of these vehicles, because these are rare, and Tornadoes, all up the Tornado range, from what I've seen doing some research, it is around like 500, and that's it, ever made. Guys, if you can confirm these numbers or correct them down below in a comment, that would be appreciated. I believe the Typhoons, they were only like less than 2,000. Like, wasn't even close. I think it was more closer to like 1,600 of them. But there just wasn't many of these things made, guys. And, you know, in the Tornadoes especially, like 500 of them ever made. Yeah, it's a special car. Ute. And look, these things were heavy. You know, we're talking around 1.7 ton. Again, though, the benefit over, say, the Super Pursuit is it feels lighter over the front end. You know, it doesn't have that massive Boss truck motor weighing it down. So it does actually handle quite nicely. You definitely have to watch the rear end more in the Ute. I feel like, you know, my Typhoon, it feels quite planted. Doesn't really get too rowdy unless I'm really pushing it. And this one definitely feels like you got to check it a little bit more. And I'm not sure if that's just because of the weight distribution, but it definitely does feel like it can get away from you a little bit easier in this thing. Again, just coming out of a corner, rolling into it. Yeah, it's quick, man. And the fact is, again, you've got factory Brembos on these Tornadoes, so 4-pot piston up front. You could actually spec these up to a 6-pot Brembo, but these do a really good job. You know, I think it's more than enough as long as you keep the brake pads in check. This particular one is running the 19-inch twists, and I absolutely love these. You know, alternatively, you could get these in an Argent style wheel, which also looks very nice, but these twists, I've got them on my Typhoon. I absolutely love the look of them. It's a hot wheel. Now, I need an expert on this one to comment down below, because comparing my Typhoon to this Tornado, we have spotted a couple of weird differences. My Typhoon has like a color screen. It has a few more buttons. The aircon is a little bit nicer in a layout, but this is like a BA down the center stack. And it's a little bit funny because this is actually a Series 2 Tornado, and my Typhoon is a Series 1. So, yeah, leave it in the comments. Was this like an optional upgrade for them, or was it just because this is a Ute, it has the Ute like base interior? I don't know. But everything else, they're pretty much the same. Is it just because this is a Ute, it's more like a base spec? I don't know, guys. Leave it in the comments. Now, guys, let's just touch on price here for a minute, because back when these came out, a Tornado F6, you're gonna be looking about 52 grand. And honestly, for what you were getting, the power potential, that was an absolute bargain. You know, any of the V8s of the day would have been significantly more money and basically slower. So, you know, you really were getting the best bang for buck if you could get this. And nowadays, even on the used market, you know, I had a look on car sales, they're going for around 30 grand. And that's a deal. I actually saw some that were under 20 and they were really quite nice. So guys, if you're in the market for a fun, unique, rare Aussie car, Aussie Ute, consider one of these Tornadoes. Honestly, they really are something that will continue to go up with inflation, I think. And they're collectible, they're cool, and they're unique. And once you drive it, you will definitely get that Barra feeling. Now guys, if you're seriously after a new vehicle, and you want to finance your dream car, I've actually partnered up with Driver here in Australia. I've got an affiliate code, so click the pop-up banner here, or the link is in the description. Driver's really good, guys. They're gonna find you the best loan. I wouldn't partner with them unless they were good. And every loan that you do get approved, we're gonna go ahead and throw you a $150 fuel card. So it's a win-win, guys. You're gonna get the best loan, a fuel card, and you're gonna help me as well. So if you wanna help the channel, you wanna get some financing, click the pop-up banner. Link is in the description. Big thanks to Driver. And I'm gonna say, you know, cornering in this big old Ute, 1,700 kilos, leaf sprung at the rear, it still goes phenomenally well. And it's almost scary how quick this thing is still stock. And it's all about that turbo. It is, you know, big single turbo. And this thing, guys, again, it just builds power so beautifully. So you'll be going 60 Ks, you ease onto it. As soon as you hit 3,000 RPM, this thing just takes off like a bat out of hell. It really, really does. Alrighty, guys, 0 to 100. We're lining up on this back road. I'm gonna actually do it manually, and I am actually gonna start in second because I've been told this is how you do it. Build it up a bit. Wow. I don't know if that's quicker, but I was told so many times to do it in second, and that felt quick though. Let's have a look at the time. Now 0 to 100, guys, was done in 5.6 seconds, and I actually have to give credit where it's due for you guys recommending to go from second, because I think that significantly helped me. I did try it just in drive, and I got about 6 seconds. So yeah, that's a noticeable improvement, because this thing was losing traction when I was going from first. It was just, you know, starting to spin as soon as we built any boost. Wow, 5.6, and this thing is stock. That is wild. A 1.7 ton Ute, like, this thing is from 2007, I believe this one is. That is insane, 5.6. You gotta love these things. Now guys, I'm gonna finish the video off here today. So look, a huge thanks to the owner for bringing down his FPV F6 Tornado, because this is just cool. You never see these things. And again, 59,000 kilometers, totally stock here. This is really quite special. And guys, it feels good on the road, looks $1 million bucks. What more do you want? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here, and we will see you on that next video.